Discipline is the bridge between trading strategy and actual success. But how do you build and maintain it in the fast-paced world of trading? Listen, many traders have solid strategies, a lot of great patterns out there, a lot of great setups, but they still fail. Like sometimes maybe you've seen this, like you're in a chat room and someone's trading the exact same stock you are, and they seem to always make money and you seem to always struggle. I think one of the big reasons why is lack of discipline, having a plan, and sticking to it. So let's explore how mastering self-control can transform your trading results and flip that script. And instead of always seeming to lose, maybe you start winning a lot more. So first step is understanding the role of discipline. Okay, why is discipline crucial for consistent profitability? I mean, at the end of the day, when you've got a stock that's hitting an entry and you've got a support level below and you know that's a good area to stop out if it goes against you, and then you're doing your technical analysis and you're looking at levels above and you know that there's probably some good resistance up there. So now you just jump in that stock, but you don't stop out when it breaks support and you don't take profits when it butts up against resistance. The big thing is you have to really do what you say you're going to do and execute on that. Now, discipline, I'm sure you've heard many of these quotes, but it's really doing what you don't want to do, what you know needs to be done. And I don't know if there's anything better or a better example of that than sticking to a stop loss. And sure, you know what? Stock pulls back and then you cut it and then it always seems to bounce. But that doesn't mean it wasn't a good decision, okay? That means that the more often you get stopped out at those key levels, the better your chance of success over time because you're building that good discipline. And same when the stock goes in your favor. And instead of aiming for those home run profits and, gonna make my account in one day, you start recognizing that the stock is struggling at a resistance level and you're like, you know what? I wanted more, but the right decision is to take a small profit and move on to the next trade. And it's a lot like, when it comes to like diet and exercise, okay? I mean, they're always kind of those things that people struggle with discipline. You wake up in the morning, do you want to do that workout? No, but you know it's the right thing to do. You're at dinner, do you get dessert? Nah, you kind of want it, but you know the right thing is to do is to not get it. And that's a lot like trading. It's making decisions that you don't really want to do, but set you up for success over time. Next is setting and sticking to trading rules. I mean, listen, you should all have a list of rules and criteria. What are you going to do in a trade? What are you going to do if it goes sideways? Something that I do all the time and I teach people is you should have a boredom stop as well. Like what happens if you buy some big mover and then it just stops and goes nowhere? Are you going to wait around hours or days and then they drop a dilution or the news changes and now you could have cut that trade for break even, but instead you just stuck around because you didn't want to, cut it at break even or up 1% or down 1%, and now it's a 30% loss, okay? You should always, before you enter that trade, know where you're going to buy, pre-plan your entries based on the previous day's chart and the current chart. We use 3 time frames, the 2-day 5-minute, the 2-month 15-minute, and the 1-year 1-day. All of your entries should be tied to all 3 of those time frames, and you should write it down, okay? You can go back to my Instagram 12 years ago, and I used to always write it on an index card. The ticker, the thesis, the entry, the stop, and the goal. And then a contingency for if it does nothing. So now there's nothing left to, emotion or guessing or any of that. Everything's pre-planned. Now that will build that discipline over time. Now you got to follow that plan. Okay, that's the big thing. You actually, if you bought at 1 and your stop was 90 cents and your goal was 130, if it drops to 90, you have to stick to that. But I'm a big believer in writing it down. There's a certain level of commitment that brings, and you're much more likely to stick to that plan. But the key is, plan is before you enter. Okay, don't buy and start trying to build the plane in the air, as they say. Techniques to enhance focus. and discipline. Listen, I'm a big believer in mindset and taking care of yourself. Like, listen, you should have a morning routine. Some of you have been on webinars with me, and I do like an hour on my morning routine. Now, I'm not saying you got to work out every morning and hit the cold plunge and hit the sauna and hit the red light and all this stuff that I do, but you should have a routine that sets you up for success. Like, I think almost all humans are creatures of routine. And the more you follow that, the less likely you are to be impulsive, less likely you are to be emotional. So there's a lot of great things. Like, listen, meditation, I'm a big believer in that. Taking regular breaks, and listen, minimize distractions as much as you can. Another story, I started day trading actively almost 20 years ago. And at that point, my kids were really little. Still love my kids. They're grown now, but I actually built a completely separate home office in order to minimize distractions. I worked from home. I was a trader, but I actually walked a couple hundred feet to that office. The kids knew that unless it was really important, let dad work. And listen, as much as I love the kids, it was a great way to even get me in that routine. Like, once I walked in that office, it was business, it was work. And I think it's a great way to minimize those distractions and maximize your potential. Next thing I really want you to focus on is learn from mistakes, okay? A quote maybe you've heard before is you either learn or you earn, okay? Trading is a game of mistakes. They say baseball is a game of mistakes, and the team that wins the game is the team that made the fewer mistakes. And I think trading's a lot like that. I mean, losing's part of trading. You're always going to have losses, okay? I don't care if you're a billionaire hedge fund that's been trading 50 years, losing's part of trade. But how do you react to it? Do you ignore it? Do you bury it? Or do you analyze it? Do you go back over it? Was I chasing? Was I emotional? Did I buy this stock without a plan? Was I revenge trading? Take all those notes down. Now, I have a bunch of worksheets that I use and I share with people that I mentor that actually force you to journal all that. But listen, all you need is a piece of paper or a text document. Write down what you were thinking, what your analysis was, where you were in your, how your energy was. Were you tired? Were you angry? Track all of that. And I know it sounds corny, but it's really powerful for recognizing things that you can fix. Okay, that's at the end of the day. You either learn or you earn. Okay, if you make money on the trade, great. But if you get stopped out, what can you learn from that and what can you improve? Now, you'll never eliminate losses, but there's always tweaking that can be done. It's one of the things I really love about trading is it's a continual challenge. Like, no one has mastered it. Okay, there's a lot of people that are better than others, but they've never mastered it. You're never done. It's always a growth process. It's always a challenge. That's what I love about it. Every day it's like, here we go. Like, can we maximize our day? Can we maximize our profits? And what can we learn from that? Last thing, and I kind of touched on this earlier, is have that routine for continuous improvement. Establish daily habits, daily routines. Again, I know I can be a little maniacal about this, but I get up the same time 7 days a week. I do the same routine every morning, every afternoon at 4:20 p.m. I journal. I've done that for 15 years, but it's a great way to not skip those things. Like, a lot of this work is boring, monotonous. It's not necessarily even fun, but it needs to be done. And if you have a routine, set times, fill out your calendar, do those things, and then that way you don't skip them or forget them. So in summary, what's your biggest challenge in maintaining discipline or building discipline? Like, listen, I know a lot of you guys are brand new. You might have zero discipline, okay? You just go in a chat room or you go on Twitter and you see somebody mention a stock and you buy it and then you just hope it goes up, okay? So what's your biggest challenge? Let me know in the comments, because I will read those comments and I'll probably go over some of those in future videos. So if you're struggling with those things, I'd like to help. I've been trading for 20 years. I've been mentoring traders for a decade now. I'm always looking to help. So drop those comments. And if you are struggling with a lot of the things that I went over in this video, definitely hit the link to the Daily Income Trader system. So that's that mentorship program that I mentioned. I do 2 live webinars a day. We do stock analysis. We trade live together. And I also answer every question and go through the daily routine. So it's really a great way to see it real time, okay? Every single trading day. Now, doesn't mean you have to be there every day, but I think that when it comes to growing and learning and evolving, daily practice is the best way to go. So when you hit that link below, it'll take you to a free webinar showing you everything in the Daily Income Trader system. And if it's right for you, you can join.